Welcome to Lady in the Diamond. I'm your host, Lina Rodriguez. And to my right side, it is none other than my wonderful co-host, Bill
Yep.
TFR. He's like the TFR king. We're gonna crown him king.
Mhm.
Bill to be my assistant here for today. We are finally going to kick off the trivia that we were talking about last week.
Yep.
I feel like this is the perfect person to do it with. So I'd like to welcome my good friend, David Hernandez. Thank you so much for joining us today, who is a big Padres fan, but we'll get a little bit more into that in a second.
Hi, Lena. Thanks for having me.
Yes, welcome, welcome. So it's been a while since we've done some work together, but
Yeah.
we'll give a little history. So basically, we know each other from radio. And of course, over time, you get to know somebody pretty well and you get
Hmm.
to know each other's relationships. And then you see each other have, well, he has had two little ones. I'm over here still working on the ring, but it's okay. It's okay. It's in progress, as we talked about last episode.
Yeah. You're out there
Beep,
But
that's the bus you
chasing your
hear coming, David.
dreams.
That's the
yes.
bus. Beep, beep. You should listen to last week's episode. If her future Beyonce listens to that, he's gonna go, hmm.
Uh.
But he knows, yes, David knows me well, so he knows I don't
Yeah.
with
Oh
him.
yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
We're rooting for Lena in love.
yes.
Absolutely. Uh-huh.
But as you mentioned, I've been out here chasing my dreams and also, sending my daughter off to college. So we have seen each other go through life
Yes.
over the past few years. So, and
Yes.
in that, we both have also discovered that we are rivalry baseball fans. So as I mentioned, you are as you're representing today,
Of
you're a
course.
Padres fan. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about like who's your favorite MLB team and how did you become a fan?
Right. So thank you for having me on, first of all. Um, Also, brother, if you are listen, yeah, she's very happy, and I love it, by the way. So that's all I'm gonna say. You know who you are, sir. Rooting for you. Okay. So
Rooting.
born and raised in San Diego, and I've been a Padre fan. I mean, I'm born in 1976. The earliest I can remember is the '84 season when we went to the World Series. So that instantly made me fall in love with my home baseball team. Of course, I love San Diego. All my family's there still, except my wife and my two daughters. So it's easy for me to still call it home. Um, Tony Gwynn, Tony Gwynn, always and forever, I think, made me fall in love with that team as well. And ironically, an ex-Dodger, Steve Garvey at the time, who was a hero for us. I had no idea he was a Dodger previously until I moved to LA years later and realized he's a Dodger hero or legend. But that guy's got his number plaque on the Petco outfield wall where he hit the home run, whoever. I think a series when we played the Cubs to go to the World Series. So anyway, yeah, born and raised San Diego. The Padres are my team for life. I've been through a lot of lows and disappointments, and I'm still here for the ride. So I mean, I'm ready for the game that's coming on in about 30 minutes now. So
No
yeah.
wonder you asked. How long is this conversation going to be? Well,
No. That's more because I got that's more because we got bedtime routine for the little girls.
oh yeah, of course.
I'll be getting dirty looks from wifey if
Oh yeah.
I'm letting her do that all on her own. So
I
yeah.
love that. You're a team player on and off the field.
For sure, for sure.
All right, Bill. So,
I'm married to a Dodger fan, by the way, too. So if
oh
that's any
yeah,
consolation, yeah.
that's
So you
Wifey's a
got that
Dodger
right.
fan. Her I'm raising
I can just
Padre fans, so I don't know.
yeah, I can just imagine what it's like on like the game day
She's
when
very supportive. She's very supportive
oh.
for sure. Yeah.
Lina, Lina,
She'll
this is real simple. The
Mhm.
Padre fans got all excited that they took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, right?
Yeah.
Hallelujah. You guys gained a game in the standings and lost 3 games, in the schedule. But then you went and lost the next game and we won it. So we just got it right back. So just saying.
This
I
is
mean,
true.
we
I
appreciate
can
that,
see where
David.
this
Thank you so
conversation is
much.
gonna go. Yeah. Oops, let me turn this on. I can already tell where this conversation is gonna go, sir. I can already tell. I expected this too. Dodger fans love to see. This is the other thing. I show my wife and I tell her, look, I say, babe, look at these Dodger fans. I don't even talk smack to them, and I'm getting a lot of smack from. I got family that's and then of course all my friends in LA are Dodger fans. And so I always hear from them. I got an uncle who's a Dodger fan and loves to like to let me hear it every once in a while. And I don't say anything. But the minute the Padres start beating the Dodgers in the playoffs and making them look silly, I don't hear nothing from nobody. I don't hear no congratulations, nothing, none of that. It's all good.
It's funny. I'll tell you a story offline when we're done
Yeah.
here.
Mm-hmm.
But I I'll tell you a story offline. But I do have a friend of mine who used to work for the Dodgers, and the
Mm-hmm.
year that you guys took us out in the playoffs, he called
22?
me and he says, 21, I think it was, yeah.
Uh-huh.
He
21. You're
called me
right.
and he
21.
says, Bill, there is no way we're going to win this series. They are gung ho down here. There's no way we're going to win the series.
Oh, in
And
San
I said,
Diego.
no, you got to be kidding me, man. And he says, nope, nope.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys came out and took us to the woodshed without a hesitation. And so, yeah, yeah, that, trust me, I've been a Dodger fan since
Yeah.
1975 because
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
1 year older than you.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not that Dodger fan that's going to give people garbage. But I do have a great story for you offline.
Okay. So ironically too, about what that series, the playoff series, I went to game two in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Kershaw was pitching.
Yep.
I gained so much respect for Dodger fans that night because they taught me how we should be as fans for our team in the playoffs. Because I had never been to a playoff game. The Dodgers and all of your fans, you're veterans at this, right? Like when playoffs come, that's really when your season starts. And I know that because the expectation is we're going to the playoffs. This is when it really gets serious. And so I was first base side, right behind Padres dugout, surrounded by a sea of blue, right? So that was the first thing already. There wasn't that many Padre fans representing. The same way the Dodgers travel down to LA, I mean to San Diego, Dodger fans go down to San Diego and they represent. I was surrounded. Dodger
Right.
fans were all over. There was one father and his little son, like a row behind me to my left. And I do Kershaw's history in the playoffs. I already know his arm is older and just whatever. I said, let's see what's going on. What I saw and I thought was very interesting was number one, as the Dodger fans did not have confidence in Kershaw. And I don't care what nobody says.
Mhm.
Dodger fans don't want to admit that quietly they're worried when Kershaw pitches in the playoffs. And I didn't know that till I was sitting there and I heard all the moans and whatever because Machado hit a home run off the first. I heard just, oh, here we go again. Oh my God. I'm like, yo, it's crazy because they're as nervous as I am about the fact that we're even in the playoffs and we have to play the Dodgers of all powerhouse teams. You guys had just beat us COVID year, knocked
Right.
us out in the playoffs, and a great series, no excuses, but we were pitching bullpen games every series because our starters were injured. So cool, whatever. You guys got the hits when you needed to, and everything was great. But sitting there, all that, and just hearing the cheers, every strike, every hit that your team got, I'm like, yo, this is teaching me how we need to be for our team when the playoffs. I wasn't able to go to any games in San Diego, so I didn't get to feel that. My
Mhm.
brother went, some other people, and they just had to tell me what it was, especially the closing game. But it was just it's great energy. And what I really love too is to see how we as the fans may have such a crazy rivalry, but the players they respect each other so much.
Mhm.
I love Mookie Betts. Honestly, I'm a huge fan more because I've gotten to know him through his YouTube channel and
Yeah.
just seeing his off the field content. Like, yo, this dude's a really cool guy, down to earth, but he has always been clutch, really, when you need him to.
Yep.
Anyway, so that's just there's like a love hate thing. Competitively, I hate him, but talent-wise, you got it. Like, you can't deny, any of the talent and any of that stuff. So,
Yeah.
um, what made me fall in love with baseball? It was that 84 season. And then I had one cousin who was a year younger than me, my cousin Robert,
Mhm.
who loved baseball just as much. And we were able to we started playing together, and we've been playing since little kids. I
Mhm.
grew up playing baseball. I wanted to be a professional baseball player. And I mean, that's really that was my play with my dad. He got a plastic bat and a ball, and he was just tossing me pitches, and I'm smacking him in the yard. And that was, I mean, the rest honestly was history. There was no question about what was going to be my favorite sport. So yeah,
That's
that's
amazing.
why
I
I
love,
love baseball. Yeah.
yeah, I never knew that about you. And the
Hmm.
fact that like I know about your history with your dad and like that brings us
Hmm.
good memories. Like I definitely love that. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
we have ran into each other at a game.
Yeah.
This was a couple years ago. This
I
is funny.
think
We
did
had no
we
idea that we were
lost that
supposed to
game
be
too.
there.
I think the Padres lost. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So it was really fun to like run into each other and then get
Hmm.
that picture of us at the ballpark with, my
Hmm.
Dodger gear on and your Padres stuff. It's like a classic
Hmm.
photo for sure. We might have to use that for
Hmm.
promo.
Love
Um,
it.
but yeah, so are there any like traditions before a game that you like to do?
Hmm. I don't think so. I was trying to think, what traditions do I have? Honestly, I never miss a game. I'm always watching the games, right?
Mhm.
I was in grad school working on my MSW,
Mhm.
because I'm also a therapist, by the way, too. And I don't know if I ever shared with you this, Lena, but I also in therapy, I also support professional athletes as well. So there's a
Oh,
lot there um to even unpack with what comes up for these professional athletes
right.
that
Yeah.
actually contributes to the on field success or not.
Oh, absolutely.
So I was going to grad school, is Masters of Social Work. Padres are playing that night, and I'm usually sitting in the back row of the class with my laptop on, and a small window of the Padre game. I'm
Mhm.
not missing games. That's the thing. I just don't miss games. So even in class, I got that game going. I'm taking notes. I'm listening to lecture, but I'm not going to miss a game. And that's just kind of been the thing. Wherever you go now, you can watch it on the phone. So if there was a tradition, it's really that I'm not missing any games. Yeah. And that's not a superstitious thing. I love watching.
We love, yeah.
So
You're a
yeah,
true
yeah,
fan for sure.
David,
for
you'll
sure.
you'll be proud to know, long before I started dating my wife, I was on a
Uh-huh.
date and we were waiting for about a half hour for a table. We are going to Islands. And literally this girl was driving me nuts. I just wanted to drive her home, right? And just be like, the conversation wasn't going well. Everything that she
Uh-huh.
could say, it was like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, but it was like the bad Andy
Uh,
type thing, right? And so you guys get what I'm saying here. So they sat us
uh-huh.
down and there's a TV and she was gonna have me sit under the TV, and I switch. I go, why don't we just switch?
So
And
you
the
could see
whole
the game.
time the Dodger game's on above
Mhm.
her. She doesn't know it, and I'm just paying attention to the Dodger game. We're done with the date, and she says, I've never had a man pay so much close
Listen to
attention
me.
to me. She didn't
Yeah.
realize I was watching the game above her. Didn't care. Didn't even care. Right. I mean, like you're saying about class, didn't even care.
Ladies and gentlemen, is that yeah, what
I
what we've
mean,
learned here is that as long as the guy is quiet, the woman assumes he's listening.
Basically,
bingo.
you just gave everyone the key to life.
Ladies and
All
gentlemen,
right.
it is Lady and the Diamond / How to Lose the Guys in 10 Days. Thanks for joining us.
And good night. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, too funny.
Mm,
Too funny.
Well, let's go ahead and close out this session with this
yeah,
last question before we get into the trivia game, because that's really
yeah.
what we're here for. We
Hmm.
appreciate you sharing everything today. So just give us like maybe two of your favorite memories
Yeah.
that you can share with us.
So 98, I'm a student at UCLA.
Mhm.
I'm finishing up my last year of college there, and I had to work, but the Padres are playing the Braves in the playoff series. And this is Tom Glavine, Greg Maddux, and John Smoltz era. Nobody beats the Braves. There's no way. Absolutely. We got Kevin Brown. He's a beast of a starter. I think the Dodgers had him for a little bit too. Um, and we beat the Dodgers, but I'm working in Westwood and I'm trying to sneak. There was no cell phone, smartphone where you can watch on your phone. I had to sneak in a restaurant here or there in Westwood, just peek at a TV to see the updates of the scores. But the level of excitement that I remember feeling the night that we closed out the Braves of all teams to get to the freaking World Series since '84. I mean, that was a big, big deal for me. Big, big deal. From home that I couldn't even celebrate with the family, but being, in the land of the enemy, if you will, the Dodger fans, and knowing that my Padres were going to the World Series, only to get owned by the legendary Yankees that year, but it is what it is. And my number one memory at 12 years old, I got Tony Gwynn to sign my baseball, my favorite player of all time. I still have the ball in the case, but it was like, the typical kid reaching through the fence and just yelling his name, Tony, Tony, and he grabbed the ball and signed it, man. I just remember I didn't even really care what happened the rest of that day. I got my favorite player's signature on the ball and I didn't have to pay somebody to do it. So yeah, top
Wow.
memory, number one memory right there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I hope you like keep that or at least sell it for a good.
Yeah, never gonna sell it at all. Tony Gwynn,
Yeah.
for I think me, was that he gave us that feeling that Kobe gave us Laker fan. I mean, I am a Laker fan.
Mm-hmm.
Never missed. Just the clutch shot when you needed it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Did the same, right? Kobe
Mm-hmm.
every time, right? Free throw needed to be made, that clutch three, whatever. Kobe
Mm-hmm.
got it. Tony Gwynn gave that same feeling. This guy was hitting everything all the time when you needed the hits. He just did it. And you had that feeling of this is going to work for us because we got this guy,
Mm-hmm.
doing this for us. So that's probably the next time I remember feeling that kind of confidence was Kobe Bryant. First guy was Tony Gwynn. I was like, yeah, you just know something good's gonna happen with
Mm-hmm.
this player. So it's special feeling, man. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I
how I
know
feel about
LA
Mookie
understands
now.
that feeling. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that's definitely how I felt
Mm-hmm.
about Mookie now. Like we just know he's gonna catch it.
Mm-hmm.
We just know he's gonna make the play every time.
Yeah, Mookie. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to respect players like that, man, for sure. So anybody
Absolutely.
that's hating on any of these players, um, it's just silly.
Yeah.
That like I don't care what team they play for. You have to respect greatness. You have to respect the greatness. The players on the field respect them. So us as fans, we're just silly if we are talking trash like somebody's bad and you really know that they're legend and it is what it is. So
Yeah, I agree. And
yeah.
and you know, as you mentioned, like it's all about respect. Like I can go to a Padres game and enjoy myself. And even I've even gone to games where the Dodgers
Mm-hmm.
aren't playing at Petco Park
Mm-hmm.
because Petco Park is an experience.
Yep.
And you definitely
Yeah.
want to like it's always a good
Mm-hmm.
vibe. So
Yeah.
like
Well, we
I
also know
enjoyed
you
it.
go to these games. We also know Lina, you go to these games so you can check out the handsome manager because the manager's fine.
Listen, I'm just there for the entertainment. I'm just there for the
Ah, yeah. Right on. Oh, that's my
But
favorite team. Well, if it's not the Dodgers, it's that team right there because that manager looks good as hell. Yeah,
I'm
I
just
got you.
I'm yeah, I'm just here to be a fan.
Mhm.
So
ladies and gentlemen, we've gone from How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days to Top Down Rivalry After Dark. We appreciate you being here. It's a whole different interview. Thank you very much.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
well, we
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to get into the trivia before we let
Sure. Let's do it.
David go because
Hmm.
I need to test his knowledge and you
Oh boy.
also Bill, you have to test my knowledge of the Dodgers because I feel like even though we co-host, I'm still learning about baseball. I'm still learning about my Dodgers.
Hmm.
So,
mhm.
this will definitely be interesting. So, Bill, go ahead and take over and let us go through those fun
Yeah.
questions.
Let's see who knows their team better. Let's
Yes.
That's
see.
right. So,
How real of a fan are you, Lena?
ladies and gentlemen, I want to get it on record.
We'll see right.
I did not write the Padres trivia questions. Lena did. her and David are good friends.
Yeah.
So just so that you know, if you think I'm picking on him, please, Lina did this. And if for some reason you have issue with it, please by all means call Dylan Cease. He'll take care of it. Anyways, all right.
I
Okay,
already
ladies
know Lina.
first.
She talks so much crap. Lina talks so much crap about my Padres. I can
All the time.
predict these questions already. Trivia. Okay.
Yep.
There
All
you
right,
go.
here we go.
Okay, so ladies first. So we'll go one to the other. Ladies first.
All right,
Okay.
let's
All
go.
right, Lina. Where did the Dodgers originate from?
Ooh.
Brooklyn Dodgers.
Good girl.
Oh,
Good
I knew that.
girl. Okay.
legendary. Yeah.
If David, if you miss this one, you're fired. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the name of the Padres home ballpark?
Oh, Petco Park. Yes.
There
And
you
before
go.
that, Jack Murphy. Oh, come on now. What?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
When and like you said in 1984 when Senator
Yeah.
Garvey
Of course. All right.
hit the legendary home run, right? Lena, you may not understand the
Oh,
joke about Senator Garvey, but us Californians
yeah.
do.
Yeah. You know what? And that memory forever ties me to Dodgers as well. Because Steve Garvey was such a hero to me, only to
Yep.
find out he was first a Dodger. And you're like,
Yeah.
you know.
I've got something great I'll tell you offline about him too in a second. All
Okay.
right,
All right.
Miss Lena,
Let's go.
number 2. What year did the Dodgers move to LA from Brooklyn?
Mm.
I know it's around like my dad's birthday. I remember that, like the birth year. So I'm gonna say it was like 19. No. My dad was born. Okay, maybe my mom's birthday. 1953?
Close.
1958.
Yes,
Okay.
1958.
Okay.
Very good. Hey, she's
Had to
2 for
double
2.
check that. I knew it was like something with the
David, that was a tough one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was because I didn't know that.
There you go.
Yeah.
1958. I love it. Okay, David, my favorite question of them all.
Okay.
How many World Series titles do the Padres currently have?
Dodger fans are so predictable. Y'all are so predictable.
it was the way
Fine. We
I
don't
wrote it.
have it.
It was the way I wrote it. Bill,
We have
you have to tell
zero.
him how I wrote it.
Okay, I
I
will
put
tell you
answer.
I will tell
Go
you
for it.
exactly the way she wrote it because you'll appreciate this even more. I tried to be nice about it, but she said, "How many World Series titles do the Padres hold?" Answer in big capital letters, 0.
You see the giggles? It makes her
Yeah,
giggle every time.
yeah,
does.
And
yeah. No. I listen.
I get
I was trying not to you know
it.
I
rub
was
it
in my
in too
research. I was like,
much.
there has to be something, one
There has to be
title,
one
something.
championship somewhere over there. Nah.
84, 98. They got close. And then
Mm.
sometime in David's great grandkids lifetimes, the Padres will win something.
Someone in someone's lifetime. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Miss Lena,
Ah.
before 2020, when did the Dodgers last win a World Series title?
1988. I remember that because it's close to when I arrived. So that's
There you
how
go.
long it was. That's how long it's
Yeah.
been since they, other than 2020.
Yeah.
So David,
Yeah, Padre fans acknowledge that as the Dodgers that's their last World Series championship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually heard LA fans put an asterisk near the COVID championship. So I don't really know why we're even debating about this, but here's a good point. If my team won that year, I probably would have been happy about it too. 2020.
Sure.
Would have been like, okay,
100%.
COVID.
Technically.
Yeah.
100%.
You still had to win the games. Absolutely. Yep.
Yep. And it was a little harder to get into the playoffs too, because again, if you go on a 5 or 7 game losing streak out of 162, who cares? If you
Yep.
do it in a 60 game season, you're screwed.
I hear
You
that. And this is the huge one, is you only played 60 games. So your bodies are not broken down from
Yep.
a full season, which has been the thorn in the side for the Dodgers. At the end of the year, they just run out of steam. Kershaw's arm was alive that year because he didn't pitch the same number of starts. Like, you had your people. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And so it made a big difference for all the teams. They're all healthy, but this is Dodgers are strong always first 60 games of the year. This is
Mhm.
Yep.
when they're dominating. So, one thing that I don't understand how the Dodgers could ever let go of Corey. I don't understand this. How does that happen? How does that
Let go
happen?
of
This
who?
guy's MVP, that Corey Seager.
Oh, Corey.
He's the
You you want the
MVP. How do
answer
you
to
let
that
that guy get
question?
away?
You want the answer to that question?
Sure.
So his people did the Dodgers quietly offered him the exact same contract,
Oh,
the exact same contract, but he would end up paying about $60 million in taxes more playing for
okay.
LA than Texas. So the Dodgers
I
did their part. They
There you go,
they
Lina. Freaking Texas.
yeah, I mean
They're
they
still in our people.
Yeah,
they
they are.
they they
They
did their
stole
part.
Lina. They stole Corey.
They have Bucky's.
Oh, they have Bucky's. There you go.
That's such a
Yeah,
Ah,
no, I I was I'll be the first one to admit it. I was pissed, but then I read about the offer that the Dodgers made, and I was kind of like looking at it, David, like, and I'm a
hmm.
pretty educated guy. I got a college degree, and I'm looking at it and thinking
Sure.
this looks exactly the same. And then I read another article that,
Taxes. Yeah.
yeah, basically said with no state income tax,
Yeah.
or you don't have
Texas.
to pay taxes in Texas versus you have to give up a left kidney every month or every year to live in
Yeah.
California.
Yeah.
it was a money
I
move.
don't know. But
All
I
right.
listen, that same argument should have played into Mookie Betts coming to LA or Otani coming to LA. Freddie Freeman, who it sounds like he got tricked into coming to LA. Still, though, I'm just saying that argument falls short for those guys. They took
Well,
the LA
and
tax.
and it's funny because Freddie's from here. He lives in, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna say it on the air, but he
Sure.
lives in Orange County.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
He's from here. He's coming to play at home. Um
Still sounded like
the
he wanted
flip
to be in Atlanta, though. That was
well,
what
he
they were
did.
talking about before.
And
Yeah.
his agent kind of messed that up, right?
Yes. He is no longer,
Um,
and who he is no longer the agent. Yeah.
right. And
Right. Right.
so
Right. Right.
the other thing too that was interesting about the Mookie one made sense to me. And that one's the one, I'm sorry, that didn't make sense. The Shohei one, Shohei knows that he's getting older and he knows that he won't be able to pitch in 5 or 7 years competitively. And he's a great hitter, but he's going to be, a full-time DH at some point soon. Um, Off record, he kind of said, I just want to play in October. And the
In
Angels were,
October.
were not going to get there. Right. And
Yeah.
look at where the Angels are now. They're one of the worst teams in baseball. And no
Yeah. Yeah. We're not
disrespect, I have a
surprised
lot
by
of
that.
Angel fans, a lot of Angel
Sure.
friends, but yeah, I mean,
I hear you. I hear you. I mean, he picked a good team. He picked a good team to come to. So interesting. Okay.
okay.
So,
So question number three on trivia is a part A and a part B. Okay. Part
Okay.
A, what are the primary colors for the current Padres uniforms?
you froze on me. I think you asked
Oh,
what are the primary colors
yes, primary
for the
colors. I'm sorry.
Padres?
Yep,
It's white, brown, and gold.
right.
Yeah.
Part B, do you think somebody lost a bet, a drunken bet, and then they created the City Connect jerseys? Because there's
Yes.
nobody in
I
their
hate
right mind
them.
that created those on their own.
Oh, I hate those things. I don't know who in the world thought that was a good idea. I will say, man, kids love them. They look great
Yep.
on the kids. I don't know where in the world we got those colors from. I'm not a fan, and Dave will not be buying any City Connect anything. I don't like them at all. So you heard it from a Padre fan.
There
And
you go.
my brother feels the same way. His boys, though, they have a couple City Connect pieces and love it. It's little kids wearing bright colors. Of course, it makes sense. They got their little and ugh.
Yeah.
But
I
no,
think somebody
yeah,
got drunk in a bar and they lost a
I
bet and they said,
agree
watch
with
this.
you. Yeah, I agree with you. It's the worst, but we get so
Okay.
much crap for the Padres looking like UPS delivery men. So, you know, I
Why
guess
not look
we're
like
already
Neil
there. We
Collins on
might
ice
as
cream?
well double down on, having horrible. I want us to go back to navy blue, honestly.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, Miss Lina, this is where you will be in trouble if you miss this
We'll
question.
see. We'll see, Lena.
Okay, Miss Lina. Who is the Dodgers pitcher who created a mania in the 1980s?
Oh, I know this.
And you mentioned this individual to me on your very first interview.
Legendary.
Was it Bo Jackson?
Okay, wait a minute.
What?
Dodger, ask the question again.
Who was the Dodger pitcher who
Because I
created a
Okay.
mania?
can't.
Who created a mania in the 1980s? Who was the Dodger pitcher?
Dodger
Bo,
pitcher.
Bo Jackson never pitched and never played for the
Okay.
Dodgers.
Listen, I just threw a name out there. Let me see.
Amiga, you're going to shake your head if you get this
Dodgers.
wrong. You're
That
going to be
was
so
a
disappointed in yourself.
gosh, I feel like I know this. I know I know this.
You do know this. You do. I know you know this.
This was the one that I talked about in the pregame, Lena.
I want to give her a hint so bad.
Yeah, give me
No,
a
no,
hint.
no.
Yes, let me have one hint.
I
I'm
can't
calling a
do
No.
friend.
it.
I'm calling a
I
friend.
can't do it. I
This
can't
isn't a
do it.
phone a friend thing.
I need
can't
a hint.
do
Just
it.
one
I
hint.
can't.
Okay,
Just-
he's from Mexico.
He's from Mexico. Oh, well.
I watched his whole career. That's the thing. I
How
respected
do
the
I
dude
not know
too.
this? How do I not know? I know this because I know as
I
soon as
already,
you say his name. All right, I'm gonna tap out. What is it?
I already gave you a clue. He was a lefty pitcher.
A lefty pitcher.
Oy, Lina.
I
Fernando
cannot think of the
Valenzuela.
name.
Fernando
Oh my
Valenzuela.
gosh. Yes,
Fernando Mania.
I should have known that. I
So
should have known.
David,
Maybe. Yeah.
true story, 100%
Yeah.
true story. That same guy that worked for the Dodgers was
Yeah.
walking back to the hotel room. What? And he saw Fernando, and he and Fernando used to work together. So Fernando looked at him and called him by name and said, "Hey, you're walking back to the hotel." He says, "Yeah, let's do it." So they walked back together, and Fernando had a mask on. This was in San Diego. Fernando had a mask on. And somebody started following him and said,
Uh,
"Hey, that's not Fernando Valenzuela," and making fun of Fernando to Fernando.
Oy.
And my friend was going to turn around and say something. Fernando said, "Don't say anything. Don't say anything." And they finally had enough courage, like 3 blocks later, to ask him, "Hey, are you Fernando Valenzuela?" And he said, "No, I'm George Lopez." And he kept walking and kept walking. And then they got to the hotel and they were jawing the whole time about how bad Fernando is. Fernando's this, he was fat, whatever, right? So Fernando goes up to the hotel, goes into the elevator, and my friend turns around and says, "That was Fernando Valenzuela. You got to remember these guys," and ripped these people to shreds. But
Yeah. Yeah.
every time I hear Fernando Valenzuela, forevermore it'll be with George Lopez.
Yeah. So I don't want to be disrespectful, but I'm gonna say this. The one Fernando that I remember in relation to the Dodgers is Fernando Tatis Sr.
Uh-huh.
And I was watching the game when he hit 2 grand slams in one inning.
Yep.
Wow.
First of all,
Cardinal.
yeah, I was watching the game because I'm in LA at the time. First of all, how did they even leave Chan Ho Park in that whole time to give up both grand slams? And then the other part is that Fernando Tatis Jr. now has a plaque in Dodger Stadium because I guess he's hit the farthest home run in Dodger Stadium. It's up there. He hit it out the whole stadium one night. It's kind of a running joke, but that's I watched Fernando Valenzuela's career, but I also saw Fernando Tatis do what he did. And as a Padre fan, I got a little bit of satisfaction out of watching that happen.
So
anyway,
that was back when you only had a short interleague thing. You played your division, you played your league several times. So I'd go up Dodge Stadium just to watch Mark McGwire hit batting practice. Guy was great.
Yeah.
So
a lot of fun
Lina,
too. Yep.
I am calling
I'm so
all
mad
of
I
your
missed that. I'm so mad.
I'm
Yeah.
calling
like
every Tia and every Tio that you have. I'm
Google that.
calling Tios, I'm calling Tias, I'm calling everybody and letting them
I'm
know
I'm sad for you.
I'm never gonna hear the end of this. Never.
I thought that was the easiest. David, you would think that that was
Por
this
la
one, right?
raza. What in the
I know.
world?
Let
I
my
knew
people
that.
down. I let my people down.
The second best left-handed
I'm
pitcher in
I'm
the
telling you
Dodgers
right now,
organization.
I'm telling you right now, Lina, next time you post something about being Latina
Third
or being
best.
Mexican, I'm going to respond and say, Fernando, that's all I'm gonna
There's
say. It'll
this
be an
one
inside
time.
joke.
There's this
Oh
one
wow.
time.
I feel like I'm gonna pay for this forever. But anyway, so
Ah.
we got one last trivia question that I
Oh,
feel
okay.
like
Talk to me.
I know for sure
Okay,
I'll know this.
okay. But no, David, you're number 4. Here you go.
Oh, okay.
What's the name of the Padres mascot?
Well, it's a Padre.
Well,
We had the San Diego Chicken for the longest time too. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. But that was he
so
was San Diego Sports.
Mm,
he was the sports. Currently, believe it or not, and this may be a little off, but it's they call it a swinging friar.
The swinging friar. But
You know the
but
image.
he's a Padre. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
right.
The
yeah, he
swinging
is a
friar.
Padre,
Gotcha.
but
Gotcha.
technically they call him a swinging friar. And yes, the San Diego Chicken, Lena, if you don't know what he's talking about, um,
Yeah.
Ray Kroc, when he created the team, the McDonald's guy, wanted to rival the Philly Phanatic.
Mhm.
And so he created this chicken that would do something incredibly insane. And he'd take people's crap and like not give it back to him. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Growing up as a kid, it was a lot of fun to see that chicken. It wasn't just baseball games. It was at all the sporting
Yeah.
events in San Diego. So
Yeah.
for
That was
sure.
also too when
Love it.
McDonald's started hosting chicken. So that's part of the reason why he did it.
Oh, marketing strategy there. Love it. So I guess I got that wrong. I didn't realize it was the swinging friar. Ah,
Technically, that's what it's called. I
Technically.
would have accepted the chicken. I would have accepted the
the
Padre,
Padre.
but it's a swinging
Yeah.
fryer.
Nice to know.
All
Okay,
right.
cool.
Final question, Miss Lena. Don't get this one wrong. If you get this one wrong, both David and
Yeah.
I are going to boo you. The Dodgers currently have a pitcher who we have talked about on this episode. They have a current pitcher who is on his way to the Hall of Fame. He is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Who is that pitcher, Lena?
I always mess up his name, but it's Yamamoto.
No,
Yamamoto?
no.
No?
Look at David. Look at David. Try again. Try again. He's
Who's your Hall of Fame pitcher? That means that they're at the end of their career.
Oh,
They've
the
had
end of
they've had an amazing career. When they retire, they're going to the Hall of Fame.
Mm,
David. Agree with me that he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, even if he
He's
doesn't throw
first
another
ballot.
pitch.
He's first ballot Hall of Famer.
Okay.
Yamamoto hasn't been in the league long enough to be
okay.
considered a Hall of Famer, so he's out.
Okay. It was such a like one of those questions where I'm like, well, I mean, technically, yeah, he will,
Yeah.
So, gosh,
Who's already got David's mentioned this guy twice.
he's
That's your hint.
mentioned him twice.
Uh-huh. Where's
I know
number
He's
I
your
know this.
22?
he's your
Sorry.
hero. He's your hero pitcher. He's the guy that Dodger fans have ridden his his on the back of his arm for, gosh, I don't even know how long he's been a Dodger, but he's had an amazing career.
Okay. Hold on.
He's a
Let me.
pitcher. He's a pitcher, right?
Yep.
That's what you said. Yep.
Yep. He's a pitcher.
He's the pitcher. I'm gonna say it's Kershaw. Kershaw.
Very good.
Okay. I had
Hey.
to think about that one. I was like, hold on, because
Yes.
I know. You know, when you go to the games, you're like having a good time. We'll just put it
Yep.
that way. Having a good time. And then you're like, okay, let me remember like the name that I'm seeing on the jersey. Yeah, I had to definitely
This
think
guy,
back on
yeah.
that one.
Kershaw is a Hall of Famer. Easy.
Yes,
Easy.
I agree.
For,
1,000%.
for those of you listening to this, ladies and gentlemen, Lena, I'll help everybody out. Lena, there's only one pitcher at a time. I know that you pregame. You might see 3 of them out there, but there's only one pitcher. If you see 3 of them out there, it's just there's only one, I promise.
Blurred vision. You have a little pregame celebration. You're seeing more
Hey,
than one. I don't know.
Trevor Kershaw. No. All right,
Clayton
David,
Kershaw,
final
man. Clayton
final
Kershaw.
question as we wrap up.
Talk to
David,
me. Talk to me.
The Padres historically had
Mhm.
a rival with what team? This is tough because I don't know that I agree with this, but if you Google
Well,
it, they will say
yeah,
this.
that's an interesting question. I want to say the Cardinals.
Yeah, that that's where I would go with the
Is
Cardinals.
it the Dodgers though? Because the
Yeah,
Dodgers never even acknowledged us as a rival. It was always the Giants. So
right.
if the other team doesn't even look at you, Brett, that's not a rivalry. That's like little brother. They call San Diego LA South, by the way. So
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? We're not no rival. Whoever put that online is just flat out wrong. The reason I say the Cardinals is because the Cardinals gave us such a hard time throughout the history. It's just always these epic battles, and the Cardinals usually won most of the game. So I say the
So
Cardinals, but
I would say the Cardinals, Mets, or Cubs because of
mm,
1984.
yeah,
But
yeah.
technically online they say the 2024 world champion Los Angeles Dodgers.
Interesting.
So
Why though? Why? 2024, this guy. Get
yeah,
out of here.
Mhm.
A lot of baseball still left to play. So
yeah, I
A
snuck
whole
that in
lot.
there, Lena. Did you see how did you like how I just slid that right under there? Um, no, I don't honestly. And you said little brother, big brother. I get it. I'll tell you a quick story offline when we're done about that. But that's what Lena sent me the questions, and I actually Googled it, and that's what came up. And I thought, no,
wow.
Dodgers, Giants. That's been historic
I
rivalry since the
Right.
agree.
30s.
I feel
Yeah.
like now the last few years has been Dodgers Padres, but
Mhm.
Yeah,
not historically. No.
yeah,
But it's
no,
Yeah.
still my favorite series to watch. Like it's
It's a
just
lot of fun.
it's so much
yeah,
fun. Yeah. So for
Yeah.
me, like I enjoy going to either
Hmm.
Petco Park or going to Dodger Stadium, and it's every year since I've gotten into baseball, I always watch that specific series. I just
Yeah.
it's a tradition now at this point. But
Yeah.
David, thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
Thank you for being a good sport about trivia. Thank you for
Yeah.
teaching me about my Dodgers.
Like I know your Dodgers better than you know your Dodgers. What in the
You
world?
do, but it's okay. It's okay. I will see you at the next game, hopefully.
Let's
And
do it. Yep.
yeah, we're definitely gonna have a good time. But yes, thank you again for taking the time to join us and share your favorite baseball memories. And it was great to know you.
Yeah.
I will definitely be reaching out to talk more sports soon.
Thank you. Thank you so
absolutely.
much for having me on. It's been a lot of fun. Always have fun talking trash to you about my Padres.
Yes, always a good time.
All right.
So,
Love you guys.
so Top Fan Rivalry followers, this will actually be up on YouTube typically. And David, you've been a great guest. I promise we'll get you on again. Typically, this will only be in the locker room, but this is actually going to be on YouTube this week and next week, as well as last week's. If
Yeah.
you want locker room access, if you want discounts on everything we do, if you want everything that we do, there is a nice little code that you use. Lena, what is that code that they would use?
It is
Should I give you?
Lina, Lina. Super easy,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Lina. Lina.
So, so make sure that you're using the code Lena, and make
Mhm.
sure that you get all your access because it's kind of like Disney, Lena. We take them out of the vault, we let you get excited about them, and then we shove them right back in there and say sorry, like John Candy from Vacation. Sorry,
Locker
folks,
room.
the park's closed. The moose out front should have told you. And so we're all about the same age, so we can appreciate that reference. Okay, it's been fun talking to you, Lena. Let's do it again next week.
Like always. Thank y'all
All
for
right,
tuning
have a
in.
good one. Thanks, David.
Bye.